That is the 19th and 20th
Okay. Of this month.
of this month.
Okay.
And the theme up there, Father Lockie has asked me specifically to mention, he wants me to preach on the lay vocation, that lay people don't have to become quasi-priests in order to do holy things. And Saint Francis, that's a little ahead of myself, Pope Francis actually spoke about this when he addressed the bishops before he left World Youth Day. He said, one of the problems we have is clericalism, which manifests itself in lay people feeling that they can't really do ministry unless they're quasi-priests. And he says, lay people can do ministry as lay people. As a matter of fact, that's the main ministry of the church as we evangelize the world. And by the way, isn't this cool? He told the young people, he says, go back. He says, now, I'm going to get in trouble for this, he said, but go back and tell your bishops and your priests to get out of their churches. His biggest thing is get out of the four walls of the church and begin to invite people in. Because you cannot expect that people will come into your churches anymore. You have to go out. So he's encouraging that we even begin to have Mass out in public places where we get permission to do it. Isn't that so? And think of St. John Chrysostom. Chrysostom was fighting the Arians who had these street ministries. So the liturgy of St. John Chrysostom, which is kind of the main liturgy, along with the liturgy of St. Basil and a few others, in the Eastern churches, they have these big and little entrances that they do in the church. Well, in the time of St. John Chrysostom, they went out into the streets, and they sang in the streets, and they preached in the streets, and they converted the Arians, and then they brought them into the church, and they finished with the Mass. Isn't that something? Okay, questions. Let's do questions. Comments.